I didn't set out to write like an intellectual or an intelligent album. I set out to write a fun album. But I'm glad that people are picking up on the things that come across in the lyrics, the stuff that's important to me and the stuff that I think about.
What's up, everybody? It's Keefy from GhostCultMag.com. I am super stoked to be joined by Jen from Jen and the Degenerates. What a great name and what a great band. How are you doing today, Jen?
I'm great. I'm very impressed that you said the band name because
Well,
everyone always messes that up.
I'm sure I'll screw something up sooner or later. I'm American, and as much as I, sometimes like to think of myself as quite clever and occasionally even smart, I'm also, a noob. After all these years, I mess things up. But super cool to meet you. Your new album is coming out on Marshall Records in a few weeks from the time we're recording this. This will probably run sometime after, but super happy to help support the band. What a cool band and what a cool label. I love this record. It's so much fun and so smart. This record is actually intelligent and smart, as opposed to most music journalists. But yeah, just I can't say enough good things about it. You have a huge tour coming up, so there's a lot of stuff to unpack. And anti-fun propaganda is the album, by the way. Really, a lot of stuff to unpack there. But first things first, let's get to know you. If this was your comic book origin story, what would the first few pages look like to learn about your band?
So we met when we were around 18. Well, varying ages. It was when I was 18, but I'm actually the oldest by like 4 or 5 months, something like that. But yeah, we met when we were 18 and the boys all grew up together. So I was kind of like the final ingredient to make the band happen. But we didn't actually start playing as a band until a few years later. At first, we were just really good friends, and that's kind of at the core of everything we do is we just love spending time together. And the sound is so eclectic because we all have such different tastes musically and such far-reaching tastes. So a lot of bands, I think, come together because they all like the same music, whereas we came together because we were mates, and then we had to work out how to make all our different influences fit together into songs, which was a different kind of challenge.
Right on. Well, it seems like you worked it out. Obviously, being able to get along is crucial to success at anything, any relationship, and especially in the music business, which is so cutthroat and, rough right now. But I will say, I'm here in the States, but we started as a European publication. We still have a huge staff in the UK, and we've been observing just our editorial staff, like the strength of the underground music in England the last few years, all genres, but especially punk is one of these vibrant genres that's just kicking out band after band that is so good. And yours is, I'd have to say, right up there.
Oh, well, thank you so much. We're really lucky to be part of this kind of like resurgence of punk and alternative and indie, and it's great to be a part of that. We've got so many peers doing amazing things, and it's fantastic fun.
Right on. We can't get enough of it, and we're trying to uplift all these bands. There's plenty of times we can write about the most popular bands in the world like everybody else does, but really where we started from was to support DIY bands, underground bands, and bands that really have something to say. And it seems like a lot of the lyrics on this album are very pointed and, like I said, very intellectually based. We live in a time fraught. The whole planet is coming undone. People are not getting along. Everything seems fucked. So I like that the music is very uplifting and upbeat. But there's like a little, it's funny and it's smart, but there's a lot of cleverness and intelligence in the lyrics that's packed in there by you.
Oh, well, thank you. People keep saying that. I know I didn't mean to, I didn't set out to write like an intellectual or an intelligent album. I set out to write a fun album. But I'm glad that people are picking up on the things that come across in the lyrics, the stuff that's important to me and the stuff that I think about.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, this is the future is now. There's no tomorrow to me. I feel like, I came from the generation. We're all very jaded and angry that shit didn't pan out the way it was supposed to for us. So we're all hurt. And then, the future is the youth of the whole world, not just America or, England, everywhere. we're counting on you. I hate to put the pressure on you.
Oh, press.
We're counting on you to help turn it around. My time
I'm
is,
hoping we can. I mean, I think
yeah.
the reality is it's mostly out of our hands, isn't it? It's about, financially, economics are now turning in favor of environmental stuff purely because you can't make money on a dead planet. So finally, we're seeing the turn in that in like the economics in favor of sustainability and environmental stuff. So hopefully things will turn around in the next few years because there's nothing like money to get big companies to do something.
Fair enough. And just from the origin of the band to now, like I think of Marshall Records as this tremendous enterprise. Not quite the big. It has a great lineage, but not like a whole history with many years put in. But what I was thinking of is, have you, from where the band started to now, has there been any kind of blowback? Because here in America, whenever a band, especially a young band, has any kind of push and like is impressive out of the gate, people are immediately very cynical and shitty to them. So I hope that's not the case, but I was wondering if it was.
I don't think we've been successful enough for anyone to accuse us of anything like that yet. We've not really had any blowback. I don't think we're successful enough yet for anyone to think that we've had a leg up. I think everyone's just, we're still early days. We definitely see it a lot with our peers though, who are doing well.
I hate to see it, and you of course always see it against, it's always against, marginalized communities. It's always against women. It's always against people of color.
Mm-hmm.
And then they act like it isn't any of those things, but of course it
Yeah,
is, kind of, right?
of course it
And
is.
I hate to be that I just have grown suspicious, and I try to like I said, we only support bands we really dig on and care about and feel are important. That's just our code. It always has been. We're going on 12 years. So from the time
Amazing.
when we had like a magazine to now, we're
Yeah.
chatting because we want to talk to you also.
Oh,
So
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah, right on. And I appreciate the things you're speaking to, even if you didn't. It's not a manifesto. It's not mirthless and serious, but like there's a lot of smart stuff in here. I hope's gonna like sink into the listeners because they
I
need
hope so.
they need it.
It's a bit of like a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, isn't it? It's like some important stuff, but wrapped up in a lot of like fun and high energy and silliness.
Right on. I have to shout out this amazing tour you're coming. You have so much stuff going on in the new year, but especially this big tour you guys are about to embark on right after the record
Yeah.
comes out.
Yeah, we're super excited. It was so kind of Flogging Molly to let us come and support them to promote our album. It's incredible opportunity. We can't wait. It doesn't feel like it's actually happening. It doesn't feel real. I can't believe I'm gonna get on a plane in less than a week and be in America for over a month. That's crazy. But yeah, we're so excited. We can't wait to, experience a little bit of tour life out there.
That's amazing. Floggy Molly, always great live. Fun fact about them, when I lived in Boston years ago, they were the band that got moshing banned in all of the city because their shows went so hard. Not like any metal band, but Floggy Molly. Amazing. And also another favorite of Ghost Cults is Danny Carano's Amigo the Devil. So he's on that tour also.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I've checked him out online. I'm really looking forward to catching his sets as well. It's gonna be so much fun. I feel like it's gonna I just obviously I've not met either of, the acts, but I just feel like we're gonna have a great time.
Oh, I know you will be safe out there and all that. I know it also gets to be hard being away from home, but yeah, hopefully the American crowds warm up to you again. Flogging, always a fun time live. Can't can't
Mm.
can't sit still for one of their shows. So
Yeah,
you
I've
guys,
heard of that.
and also like they kind of started out like you guys started out, which I think is back in the day. So
Yeah.
things in common. Hopefully they set it up. Anywho, if it's cool with you, I wanted to get through a little track by track rundown. Just whatever feel free about sharing. I know for some people this is wrought with fear to share some of this stuff. Like I didn't mean to actually explain anything, which is fine with us too. But like I feel like
Don't mind.
this will be fun.
Explaining
I love your
things.
I love your rings, by the way. I just noticed them under your microphone.
Oh, thank you.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
I'm collecting.
Oh, nice. Plus, they can make a handy weapon just in case.
Yeah, just
Uh,
in you never know.
You never know. You do never know. So the album kicks off with "Kids Wanna Dance."
So Kids Wanna Dance is kind of the manifestation of all my existential dread about, what life on this planet is going to be like for me as I grow older, and for everyone, and for my peers. And yeah, it kind of is a really good introduction to the whole album, as well as just, sonically having a cool intro. It really, I think, sets the listener up for like what they're in store for, which is just a whole lot of neurotic thoughts from me.
Fair enough. All the intrusive thoughts coming out. That's how I live my life. I'm sure that's how you do too. Track two, with I love the punctuation. "Girls" featuring
Girl.
Uninvited.
Yes. Yeah. So that song is really a product of the internet. So there was a video that trended on TikTok and became a sound on TikTok where this woman was like making fun of men who complain about everything that women do and say, "Oh, don't you hate it when girls do this? Don't you hate it when girls do that?" And she was kind of like doubling down and being like, "No, I love it when girls do that." And I just really liked "I love it when girls" as a little phrase. And so I made my own video asking people to tell me the stupid and bizarre complaints that their ex-partners had had about them. And I turned all of those complaints into things that I loved as part of the verses. So I love it when they talk with vocal fry, or all of that kind of thing all became positives in the song. And then I was tweeted the "I love it when girls" line, and Uninvited, I think they replied it's like "same" or something like that. And so I messaged them and was like, "This is actually a song. Do you want to hear it?" And they heard it and they loved it and ended up jumping on the track with us. So yeah, it was all very, very social media, that one.
That's how it happens now. That's how we do things. We DM each other and get stuff done. The
Yeah.
title track is the third track, "Anti-Fun Propaganda." It's short but sweet.
Yeah. So Sean, our guitarist, wrote like the bulk of that instrumentally, and then I had to think of something for it to be about. And so I was just it occurred to me in my head at one point. I just like have these little jokes that only I know in my head that entertain me. And one of them was the idea that the phrase "the early bird catches the worm" was anti-worm propaganda that had been spread by birds who wanted to be able to eat worms more easily. And then I started applying that to just everything in my life and saying, "Oh, that's anti this propaganda, that's anti that propaganda." And then I realized so much of the messaging that I was consuming and so much of the imagery that I was consuming in my day-to-day life was from these companies trying to sell me sadness and sell me problems and sell me reasons to dislike myself so that they could sell me something else, and make money off me. And so I kind of put that all into a blanket idea of anti-fun propaganda. And I just anything that I thought just anything that was kind of like capitalist or, conservative Christian messaging, it all kind of became anti-fun propaganda in my head.
Fantastic. No notes over here. And then equally mighty is this next track. "That's Enough Internet for Today."
Well, I think I was just getting fed up. There's people I really like in real life that I just can't stand online. And that was just kind of on my mind at that point. I have to be on social media so much for the band and for like promoting ourselves. Like you basically have to be a social media manager if you want to be a musician these days, guys. Sorry to break it to you, but that's the deal. And I don't want to be on social media all the time, and I find it like really frustrating. And so that was me just venting and getting all of that out of my system. I think it can be absolutely a force for good and it can be really positive, but I think if we're all being real with ourselves, it can also be a massive pain in the ass.
Fair enough. I work in marketing when I'm not doing ghostcultmag.com, and let me tell you, you said a mouthful. That's all. Everything you said, I agree with. And I actually find myself doing less personal social media because I do so much client work and so much stuff for our brand. I don't do that much on my own anymore.
I don't really have a personal account, and everyone always tells me I should because it would help, but I'm already doing the band one. I can't be bothered with another one.
I hear you. It's a chore. There's no question.
Yeah.
The next track is All Figured Out.
Yeah, so that is just like my despair with my life. It's kind of looking around and thinking, wow, I thought I would have more stuff sorted out by this point in my life. You know, in when you're a kid, you think being in your 20s is a proper grown up, and then you get to your 20s and you're still a mess and you still not worked anything out. And I think that is compounded at the moment by how unstable and uncertain the world is. It's like every time I make a little bit of progress with like career or financial stability, it just immediately gets eaten away by the cost of living crisis we've got over here in the UK. It's always like one step forward, two steps back, it feels. And you know, I made it worse by choosing such a insane career path. But yeah, it's just it's that song is just kind of letting all of those feelings out.
Fair enough, and my heart goes out to you. Again, it's tough out there, but at the same time, you have everything in front of you, hopefully, to straighten it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fingers
I,
crossed.
I sadly have no better advice to give to make it all right. But anyhow, the sixth track is Plan B interlude.
Yeah, so that's like my little alternate reality that I invented for myself, an idea that if all of this doesn't work out, I'll just disappear off to the coast and write books and not have to do social media or engage in society. But I mean, it's not, it's all completely fantastical and unrealistic because the place, you know, the village that I'm talking about where my grandma lives and everything is it's actually in Cornwall, which is one of the most poverty-stricken parts of Europe. Because the house prices are absolutely astronomical because it's a place of immense natural beauty, and so it gets bought up as second homes and holiday lets by the rich. And all of the normal people living there really struggle to survive in that kind of environment. There's not a lot of careers and jobs for young people, so it's a it's I wrote this fantasy, and as I was writing it I knew it was completely unrealistic, but it's a nice little escape in my brain.
We all have that runaway instinct. I found that very relatable.
Mm.
The next track is Famous.
Yeah, Famous is an old one that was actually one of the demos that got us signed. And then we kind of had to rework it and try and keep it up to date with how the band sounds now. Yeah, it's just like a dysfunctional love song use that's also about it's a lot about like self-love as well, and finding that in an age that is like obsessed with celebrity culture and the superficial.
Probably my favorite lyrics on the whole album, beside the first few tracks. I love the
Oh,
call.
thank
I
you.
love the call outs, like the very very smart call outs. That was a good one. I listened to that a few times. The next track, and I'm sure this is on purpose. It's in all caps on the promo. Big hit single.
Yeah, because it's a big hit single, obviously. Yeah, that's just like making fun of of our label, basically. They were being really reasonable and just asked us to write another song like the song that had done really well. But I am just very contrarian, and so we delivered a song that sonically sounded like what they wanted, but had really sarcastic lyrics. So they were really good sports about it there, though, to be fair to them.
Hey, listen, that's the story of "Smells Like Teen Spirit" by Nirvana. Also, like they needed one more song. They were asked to write one more song, and they knocked it out in like 10 minutes or less. And that's history, right? They're big, you know. So hopefully this one has that same impact for you, but in a positive way. The next to last track on the record, another one that is a favorite of mine, is "Post Cool."
Oh yeah. We all wear sunglasses on stage whenever we perform that one. It's really funny. Yeah, I just thought it would be fun to make fun of cool people. I don't know. I I think there's like an element with a lot of people in kind of alternative and punk and like music circles where they maybe they weren't cool earlier in their life, so when they get the chance to be cool they become like really elitist and exclusionary, and they kind of work out their childhood wounds on unsuspecting strangers, and I just think it's all a bit stupid and we should all just be nice to each other. I like I can't not be. I'm very friendly, I'm very direct, and I'm not good at the whole like cool and aloof thing, and I find it very bewildering. And so, yeah, that was that.
Good call on that. And then the last track on the album, it's also the longest track on the album, is Jude's song.
Yeah, so I wrote that for my aunt who passed away. And yeah, it was just kind of about processing the grief, a chance to talk to her, a chance to, celebrate her life. And it's a really special one for me. And I know it's connected to a lot of people live. And yeah, I'm really excited for everyone else to hear that one as well. And hopefully it can be special for them too.
There you go. My condolences on your loss, and it is a very cool song.
Oh, thank
Thanks for sharing all that. Very nice, very nicely done. And I just have one last question for you, and I'll let you go on with your evening. Of course, I always like to end these with a wild card question. So, of course, you're about to go on tour. So, what are the three most indispensable things you need to take with you for a successful tour?
Okay, I really need my vocals, like have these like vocal straw tubes that I like blow bubbles into water to warm up my voice. So that's super important just practically. I'm bringing like so many supplements and vitamins because I'm just always unwell. So I'm gonna try and fend off the unwell, lots of vitamins and supplements. And then the third thing that I have to have on tour, probably. Well, I'm actually gonna bring a stick blender, like a whizzer, because I want to be able to make like ginger and turmeric shots and and like and things like that. Because I am a hippie at heart. I was raised by bohemian parents, so gotta have my smoothies and whatnot.
It's important, and turmeric is becoming a big thing in America finally, like tea and smoothies and things. So you'd be surprised. You should be able to find it in most all natural stores. Genevieve, Jen, so great to meet you. Lovely to chat with you. Thank you so much for sharing your
Yeah, it was
time
lovely.
with us, and I wish you the best with this new album, and be safe on the road, and we'll come out and see you at a show, I hope.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a lovely day.